Here because a project I wanted to do on here has finally come in, and we're using the non-zoomy camera, so it's not going to be as in detail, but we're not doing a zoom in look at models video today. We are doing a, ignore the crunch, we are doing a how to hodgepodge slash seal your gamer Supps waifu cups. This is the shellac special. Mine didn't come with a spare sticker. I thought it would. For those who might be getting their first cups for the first time, something to note, they did change the plastics on these. So this new plastic is a different material than the old acrylic cups they used to make. They are a little bit more resistant just because they are more of a plastic rubber than say the old ones used to be a plastic acrylic. So they can crack a lot easier, though they are a little bit harder. So these are a little bit more squishier. As long as you're taking care of it the same way as you used to take care of your old cup, they're perfectly fine. Even if you just want to keep them in the bag, go for it. They usually, if you buy the normal ones, like the last few that came out, they normally come with a spare sticker. And that's what I'm talking about. The spare sticker is designed for when the one that's already on the cup comes off. You can paste it back on, and that way, because they don't come pre-sealed and they don't come as a two-layer cup. So what I mean by two-layer cup is it's not like the one cup you see here. They slap the sticker on and then they put a thinner seal cup around it like a sleeve and then seal it. Like you see a lot of those like straw cups from a Walmart that says don't machine wash is because of that reason. I wish they kind of did that or even just dip this in like the batch of like pre-melted plastics that they would to mold these cups. They would just dip it in quickly, like have a machine that kind of shook it a bit to make it drip off, and then like go through and on the conveyor belt cut off the drip off pieces of plastic, and then just have it like that, or even just have a sealant, just a spray on sealant that it goes by. Anyways, they don't do that. So this is going to be for people who maybe can only really afford one or two cups, or wants to use their drinks, and you're still be carefully hand washing these. You want to use hand wash no warmer than room temperature, slightly a little. You can go a little bit hotter than room temperature water, but you don't want to go hot, like something you use to clean pans with, because that will wreck the stickers and the cups over time. So you want a gentle. How I do mine is, especially since I'm just using water and gamer Supps in it, unless I say I'm sick or something. I normally just rinse them out really well, or I dip it quickly into the water, and the lids I wash like a normal dish, but the cup itself I just rinse really good. And when I'm done drinking, I make sure to rinse it right away. After a while, I will, or if again I'm sick, I will wash it like a normal dish, but I try not to keep it in the water as long as I can. Or with other dishes, I like washing your clothes, like your cottons, your whites, and stuff like that, away from your colored clothes so they don't stain and stuff. But anyways, that's enough rambling for me. Let's get right into this. So how I'm going to do it might differ from others that you may see on YouTube, but the general idea is going to be there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this cup out, and then so we have the cup open here. As you can see, we got the Schlatt's goat waifu, his character on there. Then we got the Gamer Supps logo on there. We have markings for your measurements. I know it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, measurements there. And we have the lid. All these lids can fit on the new and old, so you can interchange them. This is a ice protector. I didn't know about that when I started. So I guess this is going to be a beginner's guide to the waifu cups. If you guys have been watching my series on my YouTube channel where I've been reviewing flavors, um, take a look on there. I drink them out of these cups. I have the zombie waifu one. That's my main drink one. I don't care if that one gets bashed up. But these are for. They're called ice protectors or ice holders, whatever you want them. The purpose behind them is you fill these cups with your water, you put your ice in it as a mixing ball sort of idea. You put this in, and when the lid's down, what it's supposed to do is it helps to keep the ice closer to the bottom, so it helps it shake better, and it doesn't bash the crap out of your cup, making it pop off. I have seen one person on the Reddit video post that they actually received two of these in their cups. I found that pretty hilarious. But if you're drinking just water or pre-mixed stuff out of it, you don't need this in there. You can just leave it out. So we're going to, for the purpose of this video, we're going to put them to the side. And we're going to start with the first stage. So what I like to do on this first stages, especially like you want to do this, the best way to do it is on a brand new cup. What I like to do is if I had gloves, I would wear gloves for this, but I made sure to clean my hands. What we're going to do here, we're going to get some rubbing alcohol and we're just going to spray the entire cup with it. What this does is it cleans off any sort of residue, gunk, and stuff that might be on from the machines. I would highly recommend paper towel or a microfiber cloth for this. I don't have any of those right now, so just swiping down with a paper towel. We're going to clean the entire area of the cup that we are going to cover with this. I'm just going to do the entire cup, but that's how you do it. All right, so now with the cup clean, as you can see here, we are going to next, normally I would recommend doing this with painter's tape, but you can see here how there's kind of like, might be harder to see. There is a line here, so there's like a shape, like an archway where these cups are. So what we're going to do is if you don't have, I would recommend it, painter's tape, something you can easily rip. I'm just going to use, again, because this is display, some Scotch tape here, just to edge highlight, or like basically cover the edges. You just need something to basically act as a protector. So you want to get around those edges. And the reason why I like to do it this way is because when I'm drinking these, I have warm hands. So I don't want to reactivate the podge, basically. So I keep these edges with the markers on it. I keep them unglued for that reason. So it's a surface I can touch without worrying about affecting the podge. The part you should care about is do not get the podge on the screw part. So now we have our cup taped on the sides here. Normally, if you had painter's tape, you could do the whole cover everything. It's easier. This is Scotch tape. I don't really care too much about this cup getting messy because it's going to just sit on my shelf. So again, now we get into the mess part. The best way I found to seal these cups is using a waterproof, non-toxic Hodge Podge. I believe that it's just like some sort of watery alcohol mix into like white glue. If you have the patience for it and you can get it, I would highly recommend the Hodge Podge that is dishwasher safe. Not because you can put, like, you can't put these in the dishwashers anyways. The reason why I recommend it is because it dries hard, like a hard coat to it. So it adds an extra layer of protection from bangs and buffs and stuff. Pay close attention to your containers here. This is just a regular gloss Mod Podge anti-toxic finish. How you basically do it with this is the same with most of them. Do pay mind to read the instruction on your version of the Mod Podge that you buy. Some of them say to shake them first. Some say don't shake them. Some, like the one I have seen for dishwasher safe, says to roll it around on the table before you use it. But in the end, how you apply it usually is about the same. So how we're going to do it, how I like to do it, is I go a little overboard with this. So, and of course your environment is going to affect this. So doing it in the summer is going to be easier to do it than in, say, in the winter. So normally I like to do about 4 to 5 layers of this hodgepodge, letting it dry for a good, on the final one, like day or so, and then I apply a watered down version after to get rid of the stickiness, and then I let it sit for about a week and a half. When it was spring when I got my first cup, it was about a week and a half that I did it. In the fall, winter, how it's getting colder now, I think I might leave it for 2 weeks before I touch it. But general rule. So how I like to do it in the first layers, you can also, if very careful, which I will probably do to speed up the video, is if you have a sort of like a hair dryer, you don't want to use a heat gun. You want a hair dryer on low setting and just slowly, evenly going across the cup where you've hodgepodged it. to get the air bubbles in that first layer down. Because after a while, when you do this, you might notice after you let it all dry, you've applied it smoothly, you left it cleaned, you might notice that a bit of the hodgepodge over time might start to run again after washing, or bubble, or get squishy a bit over time. When you dry, when I found with hair drying that first couple of layers, that layer, and you let it sit for that 20 minutes in between, that layer gets really hard and it acts like a base layer that you can apply layers onto later. So I'm just going to shake it up here. We're going to apply it. You can apply this directly to the cup. I like to apply it to a sort of clean surface here, a glossy, non-porous clean surface. Then I have my soft bristle, like hair, very smooth hodgepodge wide brush. And I'm just going to load up the bristles here so it's nice and even. And I like to alternate patterns. So with this first one, I'm just going to go down on it like this. Just make sure to get it nice and even. Do this in a ventilation room if you don't like smells. Try to keep this away from pets because their hair will get trapped in it. So we're just going to, on this side too. Mostly you can just do this for the waifu side because the gamer Supps symbol is on the bottom of the cup normally, and usually I see the gamer Supps symbol stays on longer than the actual waifu cup. So just making sure. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to let it sit for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Make sure to give your hodgepodge brush, if you care about it, give it a good wipe off in clean water. Make sure you're doing this on a surface you don't care about getting wrecked, like a paper bag or a towel or paper towels, newspaper preferably. Make sure you clean off that brush. And yeah, we're going to let it sit for 15 minutes here. And when we come back, we'll do the next layer. And then once we come back from that, we'll do the finishing layer and we'll close off this video. So as you can see, it's nice and see-through. It's a little bit cloudy. Okay, so we're going to go into that next stage. Apply some more hodgepodge. Get our brush, make sure it's still soft. And nice, even, thin layers on the bristle. Making sure not to go halfway. Just like a normal paintbrush. Then again, this time, I like to go, since we went down, we're going to go across. We're just going to make sure that we're getting smooth. You might feel some resistance. Just make sure to add some more podge. If you start feeling it drag, you want more podge. You do not want to water this down, and you do not want to clump it up. Try to get as much as you can, but don't worry if you don't get the full thing covered, because you're going to go over it with multiple layers. You might need to add more. Preferably try not to have to put the cup down, and make sure to try to use the same size of the hodgepodge brush. You don't want to use both sides. So yeah, we're just going to whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. See, so if you don't let it fully dry or you let it too sticky, you'll get those waves you can barely see. That's the paint from under, the glue from underneath picking up from the newer layer. So we're just gonna, I just dab it. Bam, bam. Yeah. So it's a little bit too early, so it needed some more time. So you can just go in and refix it. Again, we don't care about that side. It's mostly this side we're protecting. So with that, we're going to let this one dry for 20 more minutes. And when we get back, I'm going to do after that, after the 20 minutes drying, I'm going to go do 2 more layers, but I'm going to go use the hair dryer to actually dry this. I won't show it because I can't really fit it in here, but you want to keep about distance away. So that's a good, I want to say good 12 inches. You want to keep at least 12 inches away from your cup on a low drying setting, just slowly going across, getting all that dry. So we're going to do that for 2 more layers, and then we're going to go after that second layer. We're going to do a watered down, just coating. How you should do it is you should always end with your final layer going the direction you started. So that being, so we're going to go, so we started going this way, then we went this way. So next layer, we're going to go down that way, and then we're going to go that way. Then with our watered down layer, we're going to go back up that way. So as long as you do the watered down layer, you can do as many layers as you want, but as long as you get to where you started, the direction you started as your watered down layer, that's what you want to do. So with that, we're going to go and let this dry, and when I return, we will have it finished. Hey guys, we are back here again at the end part of the video. I just finished my 4th layer. Now we're going on to the final layer where we apply the watered down version. At this stage, you've done 3 to 4 layers. Usually the last layer before I apply this watered down layer, I like to use the hairdryer on. Again, carefully running over it, heating it up till I start seeing the bright white going away, and then starts to turn into a light white. Then I let it air dry. So as we can see here, it's got that sort of smoky look. Once it's more dry, it'll look better. I did mess up a bit here. At this point, you'd want to take the tape off. The tape did that a bit. It lifted up a bit of film. I just pushed it back down and added some more layers over it. But as you can see, by doing that crisscross pattern, it's as smooth as you can get, especially if you use a nice thin, like a nice soft hair brush. And as you see, because we didn't get any of the glue on the surface here, and the little that we did will, scrape off with water. It will be a safe place that you can grab on the side here when you're drinking. So how we want to do this final part here is we're going to get our hodgepodge. With this one, shaking it up is I'd recommend it. Yeah, just a little here. And then however you want to apply water, you can do it straight from, say, a cup or something. That's how I do it. I just get the bristles wet. Again, this is why you want to make sure this is super dry before you apply it, because this will reactivate the hodgepodge if it's not properly set. So I like to do it on the GG side here. That way, if it is wet, it doesn't wreck the other side. So, and then you just, how we started it, going from top to bottom, we just apply over the whole surface. And what this will do is we'll get rid of as much tackiness as possible. Then we just do it to this side, seeing as it didn't wreck it. We just apply it. Just a single smooth layer. That's all you need. And bam. At this point, I don't care if I get it over here on these parts, because again, you can just scratch it off. This is just basically to make it so it's not sticky. And with that, wash off my brush here. And with that, guys, we have finished it. So the hodgepodge is applied. It's see-through. And yeah, so I'm going to go let this again dry. You want to let this sit in a warm spot for, I recommend, especially depending on how more layers you do it, a week straight without being touched. Your hodgepodge may be different, but for this one, for 4 layers, with the heat gun, you want to, or the hairdryer, you want it to sit for a week, minimum. In sunlight, but not direct sunlight, is preferred. And again, you don't want it to be super hot. I usually put the lid on top, but not fully screwed down with the lid open, so it lets moisture out. But yeah, that is how you would go about sealing one of these cups. If you guys want to see a little bit more higher detailed, I can definitely do another because I have another cup coming, or I can redo one of the cups I have. That's the nice thing about hodgepodging is if the seal breaks or the peels off, you can always apply more. It's safe, and again, it's just another step to protect the cup. It won't 100% protect it unless maybe some of those stronger ones like the dishwasher safe acrylic hodgepodges might. But for like this basic hodgepodge for like $3 from a dollar store, you just keep applying it. It's like a magic sleeve from Upper Deck. The sleeve will rip before the card does. So with that, guys, we will see you in the next review video. I'm going to be doing hopefully another drink flavor review video here soon. But we will see you guys in the next one.